Welcome back, folks. We do have game number 2 here of the fantastically awesome best-of-3 match series between LosirA of Team Incredible Miracle, spawning this time up in the top right position, against his evil genius opponent iNControL down in the bottom right. So this is going to be a right half of the map matchup today here on Tal'Darim Altar, which I will actually go over super quick since it's still a relatively new map. I think there's some viewers that aren't quite familiar with it yet. So pretty decent main base area. We'll use iNControl's spot as an example and actually follow the probe up through the choke point. There's no ramp right here. So you see it's just a little choke spot, 2 little plateaus leading up to the natural expansion, which is vulnerable to attack from down here. So it is up on a cliff, so you can have like a cannon or 2 in case any hydras decide to come over here, try to pop off your gas or anything like that. Of course, the danger differs depending on what your opponent is. Siege tanks down here, very, very dangerous indeed. So we see iNControL deciding to drop down the pylon at the natural expansion. I'm not surprised at that. This is a very macro-oriented map. So we do have the main entry point right here. And leading over to the east, there's another path that gives access to a third expansion. Now, there's different versions of this map. There's a version where this is 5 patches of minerals and no destructible rocks. This version, though, does have a full 8 with a set of destructible rocks and 2 geysers. I think the other version only has 1 geyser, and it's a normal one if I recall. So pretty interesting stuff there. iNControL, last game we did see him attempt to block the expansion for LosirA by dropping a pylon and a couple cannons. However, this time we see he does not have a forge. He does have 400 minerals though. So, oh, looks like he canceled the expansion there. Okay, I see what happened. I'm going to guess what happened there is he placed it and then kind of told it to go away and was clicking around, but then a lag window popped up, and he accidentally told it to go away on accident. Accidental accident is accident, that's right. We here are indeed quite redundant. So let's actually look up here at LosirA for a second. Player from South Korea. He has opted for the build that gets you the metabolic boost upgrade before the expansion, of course, with the probe running around here. Really didn't have a whole lot of choice in the matter. He could have danced around with a drone, maybe pulled it off, maybe not. But instead, he decided to go ahead and go with this build, get some Zerglings, put that extra drone back to work, get some minerals coming, and push out with a few lings now with the speed on the way. Of course, iNControL did have his probe way down here for a second. I was watching that minimap, I was like, is he going to try to hide that? Maybe do some kind of proxy play? But no, he's kept on poking around, and eventually the Zerglings found it. So they are able to take out this pylon, and I believe LosirA is going to be taking this expansion this time, as opposed to Shakura's Plateau, where he kind of shifted over to a different expansion and kept on going with this build. And again, we do have a little bit of lag there, but that would be a little bit more difficult in this map because the expansion, again, set of destructible rocks. To conclude the map analysis, there is a large central raised platform, 4 very wide ramps, and also 4 Xel'Naga watchtowers on elevated terrain as well. Again, ramps leading up to it on both sides. So we're probably going to expect to see most of the conflicts take place somewhere in this path right here. Middle of the map. Definitely going to have a good game nonetheless. LosirA does have 1 Overlord actually coming down, scouting out the Protoss base. He's going to see, okay, second gas just now going down. Looking pretty skimpy on the probes right now. So this is a telltale sign right here that there is a natural expansion over there. So LosirA knows that. We can expect to see him kind of plan accordingly. We'll actually watch the production tab here in the coming minutes and maybe kind of get a glimpse into what his thinking is as to how he's going to approach this. iNControL, he does not actually have any units that are able to shoot air at this point in time, but yet he actually does have a sentry being chrono boosted right now, and as well as warp gate technology. He does want to be able to get out some forces ASAP, and look at that, he's even put in the proxy, or not the proxy pylon, but a pylon right here at the ledge. This is actually very nice placement. This is going to allow him to warp in units. Oh, what is going on over here? Speaking of warping in units, But this is going to let him to warp. This is going to allow him to warp in units down here. Let's say a bunch of Zerglings are running in here, some Roaches. It's going to essentially let him to flank attack the attack that's happening at his natural. So very good stuff there indeed. Good planning on his part. As LosirA dropping down a third hatchery. Now this is kind of a interesting thing here. Maybe he's going to be going for some kind of early-ish attack, considering he's not really dedicating a whole lot to this. He's content with just his natural expansion, dropping the third hatchery, and I was kind of waiting to see what was going to go down next. A Roach Warren. All right, yes indeed. So he is going to be trying to pushing with the Roaches. I think that's going to be kind of a risky maneuver here. He knows his opponent does indeed have that expansion, which I don't think he's actually scouted. Yeah, he hasn't popped in here per se, but he's seen the wall, and that Overlord coming down here, seeing the reduced probes in the main, that's definitely a clear indication. So I'm genuinely curious as to how he's going to make this work. You know, one thing he could do, he could decide to go with a Nidus, kind of pop around. He does have one Overlord he can turn into an Overseer, and maybe Nidus into the back of the base here. iNControL maybe warping in a bunch of forces out here, and he'll have to bust his way through to get at it. I don't know. Lair is on the way though. So if he's going to do something like that, I'm sure we will find out in just a few minutes. We see he's also kind of stockpiling the gas. Look at that right there, 650 gas. So he is certainly going to be doing some kind of tech play here. He could also maybe just go with the upgraded Roaches, but we don't see any evolution chambers right now. We don't see any of those. He's not mining off of his third extractor right now. Okay, now there it looks like he just started doing that a second ago. And oh, iNControL going for the Dark Shrine and the Blink ability at the same time. This is quite an interesting game here. I have to say, I do like the heavy gateway usage that we're seeing here from iNControL. Going to be focusing a lot again on the proxy warp-ins. I think having this pylon here undiscovered is really going to open up some strategic opportunities for iNControL, as he maybe possibly decides to go ahead and take his third base. Yeah, it looks like he's going to knock out the rocks, expand out there, and just continue to build up. As I said before, the map is a very macro-oriented map, so I'm not surprised that we haven't seen too much action here up until what could be maybe in a minute or two. I don't know. It's about the 10-minute mark. So we'll see. We'll see. The speed upgrade is on the way for the Roaches, but you see he has dumped a lot of gas into those Roaches now, just getting them all at once there, and now has a pretty decent standing army. Look at the size comparison, 84 to 102, but we can also see the income right now is sitting at about, it's about even, but what's not even is a DT versus a hatchery. This is going to be a very one-sided fight. Spoiler, hatchery can't actually, oh, that's just good. That's just good. He's got it in the hold position there while he sends his other two DTs very sneaky-like into the main base. Oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good indeed. Pops it there. All right, there we go. He's got one in the mineral line here as well. So he's going to be popping all three of these at the same time. And we see iNControL over here actually pulling back to his main base, maybe anticipating a counterattack, but we see that LosirA doesn't have any detection here. Finally, the Overseer comes, but not before. 9 workers have been killed right now, and also the expansion denied. All that very, very nicely timed attack there. All three at once like that, using the hold command. I mean, that's a super basic thing, but still it works oh so very well when your opponent does not have a clue what's going on until it's too late. So LosirA down here with the Overlords, let's see, has he actually spotted that? No, he has not. He still does not know this expansion's going down. But you see there's a number of cannons in place, and now LosirA is in super defensive mode. He is questioning everything. Is there a DT over here? Maybe one hiding, one on hold position? I don't know. I've got to find out, so I've got to secure my perimeter, and then maybe attack. You see 107 to 134 right now. I'm thinking that he's thinking because of the fact that those DTs popped out, and let's see, well, he hasn't spotted the expansion yet, but the DTs have popped out. Maybe he's going to have a little bit of superior army. We see that is kind of the case, 113 to 134, but you look at the Harvesters, that's where the big difference is right now. 59 to 30 and we see actually there's another DT running around somewhere in here. Yeah, right there. Saw that ticking down. I was like, wait, what is going on? All right, sure enough, iNControL did get one harvester, but this is where all the action's at, folks. You can see LosirA moving in here. Overlord giving him vision of the high ground, able to take out that pylon, so no flank attacks for iNControL. He's going to have to deal with this straight on. Nice force fields blocking off a lot of those roaches and zerglings down there, only having to deal with a couple of them, and the fact that he does have 2 weapons upgrade already compared to nothing here for the Zerg. He's not even, don't think he has anything on the zerglings even. Nope, sure enough, nothing at all. Dealing with a couple forces at a time. Combine that with the fact that, well, his income has been severely diminished by the Dark Templar presence there. Even got a couple hits on that lair. I think this is going to be going in iNControl's favor. Look at that, 113 to 55. There's the GG from LosirA, giving iNControl game number 2, bringing this to 1-1. All right, guys, thanks very much for watching. Be sure to tune in for game number 3, where we watch and see who's going to win this series. You just have to wait and find out.